Hey, I'm Avalaura.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is Black Leave America podcast, where we highlight holistic wellness, travel, mental health, and self-care through traveling outside of America to reconnect and rediscover who you are. It's time for us to leave any condition that disrupts our peace. Black Women Leave America opens your eyes and explores new ways of living, but more importantly, new ways of being. Because sometimes you have to leave in order to find yourself. Sometimes you have to leave in order to find yourself. This is Black Women Leave America podcast. And today we just need to take a woosah. We need to take a moment just to breathe. And that's what we've done with this podcast over the last, how long has it been? A month or two, maybe?
Yeah, maybe two.
Yeah, maybe a couple months. We took a moment just to breathe. Yeah. And thank you all for tuning in. I am Avalaura, your life coach and intuitive consultant, and this is my amazing partner.
And I'm Jessica, and digital media and content creation.
Looking all dewy fresh with her red lipstick. I'm just, you know, she is looking all kind of Black women fabulous right now.
I'm trying. Y'all makeup artists call me if I ain't doing it right, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But you know what? We're gonna roll with it.
And for those of you, who've been watching us, who've been listening to our podcast, we launched actually in February, right? Yeah. Black History Month. And we had this idea, we just thought it would be so cool to document and tell the stories of Black women who have left America, who have traveled abroad, who have lived abroad, who are living abroad, and tell their stories of why they left and how they found themselves, and it was really interesting. It was amazing. We came out in February with a bang, got great feedback from our podcast, put out a few episodes, and then we got hit with COVID-19. And we decided we needed to take a collective pause. I mean, there was a lot going on, just speaking for myself personally. At first it was a blow, my birthday was ruined. My birthday is March 17th. So that totally just got all my plans were gone. Speaking engagements lost. And I know for myself, I needed time to kind of just pivot, and regroup and take a time out in my business. And then all of a sudden, everything just took off. I mean, it was just crazy. All of a sudden, I'm losing opportunities. And then all of a sudden, all these opportunities are just coming out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So now a lot of speaking engagements became webinars. I picked up, I can't even tell you how many clients, because people are really going through it. And so with all of that going on and just taking a moment to grieve, right? Because now, we can't leave the house. I ain't got no social life. I can't date. I'm home alone. Jessica got kids and a husband, but I'm here by myself all day, every day. And people are literally dying, and so much loss. So I know I needed a moment to regroup. And then hell, we couldn't go nowhere. We talking about Black Women Leave America, and where we going? Because borders shut down. We can't leave the U.S. And even if we could leave the U.S., countries don't want us. They're like, yeah, we're opening in June, but not to Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's I'm not getting on nobody's plane right now. No, right? So, and then for me at home, I had homeschooling. So on top of trying to, and I was already going to pivot before we really got into this next season of the podcast, or our next episode of the podcast, I should say. And then COVID-19 hit, and I was like, oh my gosh, really people really need my services one-on-one. But I'm I'm trying to pivot and do this other thing where I'm more documenting my life and making my lifestyle more of the brand. So, which helped. To your point, Avalaura, at first it was oh my gosh, it's devastating, because I wanted to do this stuff, some stuff in person. I wanted to do some interviews in person. I actually lined up some interviews that I wanted to do in person. But then everything shifted and my kids were at home 24/7.
How many kids?
5 of them. The sixth
one
is in college in Texas, but she was trying to get on a plane. I'm like, no. And trying to speak to these younger, oh my gosh, they don't, anyway. That's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. So I'm hit with, okay, I have to homeschool on top of trying to record videos, on top of trying to, try to get the podcast out for Black Women Leave America, my own podcast. It was crazy. And I'm going to tell you right now, homeschooling is no joke. Kudos to you, those of you who can do it. I don't think after this, I think I'm going to send them with a mask and be like,
I pray for
spray all over you. Sanitizer.
Or look, you've been talking about leaving. Who I forgot, the woman we interviewed, y'all got to go back and listen. In Angola, child need to go to Angola and take them to school there.
Man, facts. Because it was a lot. But all in all, I ended up recording a lot more with them and starting their YouTube channels and getting them started with like their slime stuff and doing YouTubes with them and stuff. So it was really fun. So it ended up being a real bonding moment for all of our family because we were able to calm down. My husband and I got closer, where a lot of people we heard all the reports of people getting divorced.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of divorces about to shoot up. It's about to be like a 60-75% divorce rate after this quarantine is over.
Quarantine will test your relationship, that's for sure. Like if you ain't built on solid, you about to find out real quick.
Quarantine will test your sanity, okay? I love myself. I love spending time with myself, but I ain't built for this, okay? Yes. I am an extrovert. I need people. Yeah. I don't need to be with myself 24/7 all day, every day. No.
Yeah. So we got creative though, right? Everybody, we knew about Zoom for the longest. Everybody now knows about Zoom. And now digital is like more important than ever. All the concerts that we got to experience and oh my gosh, Versus has been amazing.
Yes. And like I told you, it caused a shift for my business. Like I had to shift my Reiki training online. Ended up being the best thing ever, most successful training. I had a student in Nigeria. So there were definitely some good things that came out of this experience. And so now here we are, right? Getting used to Corona and finding the positive in the midst of this storm. Yeah. And then what happens, y'all? By now, wherever you are in the world, you know what's going on here in America. So right now we have massive protests. Of course, there was some rioting and some looting, but it's really more peaceful protests. A lot, and I'm in the DC area. So there's protests literally every day, whether it's DC, whether it's Maryland, whether it's Virginia. We're having protests every single day in this area. The mayor of DC actually, one of the streets put Black Lives Matter and renamed the street Black Lives Matter. I ain't gonna get into all the politics of that, but it does look kind of dope. We ain't gonna say, that she's just doing that because she kind of needed to do it, but it does look dope. I'll give her that. So there's a lot going on the heels of George Floyd's murder. Should I call it that? Yes, assassination. And racism really rearing its ugly head in America yet again and again and again.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
I think on a whole different level. Like,
I
don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So it's interesting, right? Like, so I I'm not a big, huge Trevor Noah fan, or I shouldn't say I'm not a fan, but I didn't really watch him. But my sister sent me this clip, and I think he really summed it up amazingly well. In that this was all, he called it, I think, a domino effect. For me, it's the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Already had Corona. People in their houses all day, every day, bored. Right? Yeah. And got nothing to do, no entertainment, everything is shut down. And then we had, what's the first guy in Georgia who was killed by the guys chasing him, talking about he was a burglar in his own neighborhood. He was jogging, and they killed him, caught on tape. Yeah. Aubrey, I forgot his last name, forgive me, y'all. So we got hit with that first, right? And, video came out. Then we got hit with Amy Cooper. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got hit with Amy Cooper, right? Walking her little doggy in Central Park, trying to blame the black man for threatening her life. Went into whole full-blown white girl tears, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she should have won an Emmy for that performance.
Yes.
I'm going to call the police on you and tell them that an African-American man is threatening me. Go ahead. I was like, did she just right before her eyes go into
and the whole time she's trying to talk about her dog, she's choking her dog. No, this can't. I was like, this
ain't no lives matter for her, not even the animal lives. Dog. She just destructive or all destructive. So that came out.
Yeah.
And then George Floyd.
Yeah.
And enough is enough at this point. Listen, we already fed up because we stuck in the house. There's no leadership in this country. Nobody knows what's going on. We don't know when anything's opening up again. We don't know when we're going to be able to have a life again. People are dying. Black folks are dying at disproportionate rates because of the healthcare disparities everywhere. And we're like, what?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And so it literally was the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It was just too much. We sick and tired of being sick and tired. We can't take it no more. And so now what's fascinating to me is that there are protests all around the world. Every business, if they want to stay in business, they cater into Black dollars and releasing statements. Even though they might have given money to Trump, they still gonna say how they are against discrimination and they love Black folks. I'm paraphrasing y'all. And we giving $500,000 to the NAACP. What the hell the NAACP doing anyway? But anyway, so this is going on right now.
Wait a minute though. So just from firsthand knowledge, a lot of my private clients are getting major donations. It's coming out the woo-ha, and they're geting tagged by every Caucasian.
Hell, I need to be a Black organization for something. How Black women, can we be a Black Women Lead America nonprofit? Because I'm saying, while these liberals and not so liberals are giving up all their money because they feel guilty or because they have to.
They feel like they have to. They're tagging like crazy. I just gave, and I just did this, and I just did that. And it's like, wow. But you know what's interesting? And I wanted to make sure that I said this on the podcast today. I was in the dollar store getting stuff for graduation for my daughter. And of course, I'm standing there full mask gear or whatever. And there was this Caucasian guy that got in line behind a Black woman. And he was very loud, and he was like, "Is the line open?" You know, just yelling, whatever. He was just super loud. And he's like, "Hey, you believe in social distancing?"
He was being white.
Yeah. So then he turned, he says, "Do you believe in social distancing?" And she's like, "Yes, I want to stay safe," or whatever, right? He's like, "Well, you should read this book, blah, 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 blah." She's like, "That's okay, you know, whatever." So out of nowhere, this little Asian guy runs up and goes, "Leave her alone. You leave her alone." I start cracking up because I'm like, "Oh, what? Is that what we doing now?" The dude says,
now we protecting the Black woman.
Yes.
It only took how many years?
How many years? Right? But I'm like, okay. I'm like over there doing like this because I'm in the other line. I'm like, yes, okay. The dude's like, "You shut up. We're just having a conversation." Right? And this other little Asian, like, he start backing off and run off. I'm like, oh man. You can't punk out, dude. If you go stand
like, go hard or go home, right? Don't punk out. If you're gonna protect us, protect us.
Exactly. But I was I gotta say, I've never seen that. I've seen a lot of people being hassled and haggled, and he was, in fact, the energy around it was just, you know, even though he wasn't saying anything really bad, he was
just being white privileged.
Yeah,
it was his everyday norm, you know.
And you could tell he was just bothered, you know, and he was just poking at her. And so the fact that he stood up, I'm like, okay, but y'all keep it going. Don't just stop. Don't do this now. And then in a year from now, you know, somebody getting hackled and you're just like, okay, whatever. Black Lives mattered in 2020, 2021. We doing something else.
Some Black Lives Matter, but really all lives matter.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure I shared that story with you.
No, that's dope.
We're seeing a shift.
You said the key. let's keep this going and not let it be like a temporary Band-Aid fix like we always do. Like, it's hot. Listen, let me tell you something. It's hot to be Black right now. Okay? Black is in. We are in. Oh, put all your Black women, Black magic every single where. Sprinkle, 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 because we are hot. Girl, because you know we only got about a month or two left, and then it's going to die down, and it's going to be business as usual.
Exactly. So if you want to be an actor, if you want whatever you want to do, because you heard about the actor guy that from Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars. He's from London, I think. He's Nigerian.
He getting all kinds of roles now. They like, oh yeah, we want you to act in this movie. We want you to be in this, because this is what happens though. They do this, and they haven't done it on this large of a scale before, but they do this every now and again. You know, they'll have something happen and they're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I don't want you to think I'm not racist. But we have to make sure that we hold them
I just hired a Black actor.
Hey, look, hire us, pay us, fund us, continue to fund us. And I'm going to actually record a video on my page about this, because I got and I'm gonna say this on here, and y'all can come for me if you want to. I don't care. But Pat Flynn sent out an email. Pat Flynn sent out an email, and in his email, he's like, "We stand with Black Lives Matter, yada, yada, yada," whatever he said in the email. Okay. How many Black people do you have in your marketing team? How many summits have you had with Black people speaking on your summit panel? How many workshops have you done with Black people actually marketing in your actual marketing materials? I think you've only interviewed about maybe 5 Black people over the last couple of years that you've had a podcast. Like, if you really are about Black Lives Mattering, then I need you to show up something else, bruh. Okay?
I need you to invest. I don't want lip service. It's time for receipts. If it ain't no receipts, just hush. Listen, the only one I'm checking for, and I'm about to go out right after this and give me some dang Ben and Jerry's. I love me some Ben and Jerry's. They the reason I can't be thin for nothing in my life, but it's okay. Ben and Jerry's was like, yo, listen. Black Lives Matter. This is some bullshit. Racism is systemic. This is what's going on. They went through the history of racism. Yes. This is why it's happening. This is what's happening in the Black community. This is what we're doing about it and have done about it for years. Listen, Ben and Jerry's went in. I'm blickety black and I'm Black, y'all. They can get a Black card. We can take away, I forgot that chick, Candace Owens, and we can give it to Ben and Jerry's, because they about that life.
That's
everybody else though. I'm looking at this little vanilla statement, like, okay, did somebody just like create a statement and y'all bought it on the internet and just change the branding and the mark? Because I mean, all of these statements look the same to me.
Private label statements, right? PLR statements.
Girl, I'm saying
facts, though, facts, and that's what I'm saying to his statement. Like, if you gonna be about it, dude, then be about it. Don't just. But I can say that there are some folks that didn't say anything, and that's worse. But, you know, the fact that he said he's pausing his content, you know, I'm very appreciative. I'm like, okay, I recognize that. But then I also want to make sure that you recognize, homeboy, that you need to have Black people in your actual midst of what you're doing, right? Yeah. You know, he had the whole list of his team, and I'm sure the majority of them are white. I don't know if he got a Black person or not now, but from what I saw, they're all either Caucasian or another nationality. So what I want to say to all of you non-Black folks that are probably going to come to this podcast because it says Black on it, and listen, I want you to know.
While Black is in, we got to strike while it's hot.
Exactly. I want you to know you need to hire. You need to fund. You need to make Black marketers a part of your summits, your workshops, your webinars, your masterclasses, your whatever it is that you're doing. Black people, Black speakers, Black marketers, Black professionals need to be not just in your marketing statements, but actually have a part of your marketing.
We need to have a seat at the table.
The table. Thank you. If you really want to make change, that's how you do it. You need to bring.
Because this is a systemic problem. If we don't have a seat at the table, whatever is going on, you ain't relevant. Let's just say you ain't relevant, and you about to get canceled. Because, honey, everybody's getting canceled right now.
Everybody getting canceled, and your little statement ain't gonna make it that far.
It's not gonna save you from not getting canceled. Because hell, I just saw Lowe's put out a statement. They still getting canceled. Everybody, no, I'm sorry, not Lowe's. Forgive me, Home Depot, because they donated money to Trump, but they still getting canceled. Yeah. So. Yeah, if you're not actually about the business, if you don't have receipts, if you don't have Black folks Not just one, because we don't want no token Black, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple Black folks, diversity.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have a seat at the table, you will be canceled. Black dollars were going to where Black people are wanted, loved, supported, and accepted. Yeah. You are no longer just getting our money because you think you cute, because we like whatever you selling, or we like whatever you got. We will absolutely find somebody who looks like us, who values us, who supports us, and they will be getting our Black dollars.
I'm saying value the culture. That's what we're saying. Value the culture. Don't just take from it. Don't just extract.
And that's exactly what's happened. Y'all been taking for way too long, and y'all been certainly taking us for granted way too long. And we allowed it. We allowed it.
Yeah.
You know, if this is what it takes for people on a massive level, because I don't know, I mean, I'm all about all day long supporting Black business, always have. As a Black business owner, I go out of my way to make sure that I'm supporting other Black businesses. But a lot of people were not about that, or not doing it enough.
Yeah. And
please don't go out and put a Black figurehead on your business and call it a Black business. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I promise you, now we're looking closely. We're paying attention. We're doing our homework. Listen, Black Twitter don't play, okay? We will do some research and dig up some bones. So don't just put no figureheads in office. Really be about that life. Practice what you preach, because we are watching.
But my whole gist is like, if you're going to be marketing to Black people, or if you say you care about Black people, even if you do market directly to them, right? Make sure that you have that insight. You'll pay a consultant, even if you don't have someone on your, have a consultant come in every now and again to make sure that your content is culturally relevant and culturally sensitive. Make sure you're not putting out just, dope and, we in the hood and call you girl and all these other words that you done took and misappropriated in your market and brought into the forefront. I'm talking about marketing just because of podcast stature and who I am. But it goes far beyond that. We all know this. But don't just use those words in your stuff. That's all. Anyway, I can go on all day. We can move on to the next one.
But, here's the point. We needed to take a break for our own self-care, right? And that's really what this podcast is absolutely about. And, we're talking about all the people being canceled. We're talking about all the people who are really disingenuous and now trying to come along now. But I think it's so important, while we are now collectively talking about people we're canceling, we need to be talking about people who we are supporting.
Absolutely.
I think that is just as, if not as important. And, we really want you to support Black Women Leave America. We want this to be a safe space.
Absolutely.
We really want you to go in the tomb and listen back to the interviews. And we will now start releasing more of the interviews that we've done now that we've had our woosah moment.
And we also realize importance, right? It's not even necessary. Not that we didn't think it was, because we absolutely did, but we saw like, this platform that we're building goes beyond us, and the impact that it can have will live far beyond us. And so in our conversation, we were just like we got to do this. We got to get back on it. So we're doing this for y'all. So
she's right. Like, I'm busy as hell, y'all. I'm so busy. Like it don't even make no dang sense. But we knew that it's funny, we started this, we had been talking about it for months before we even started it, launched it in February, and now it's even more relevant than ever. And we really want you to tune in and listen to these amazing, inspiring, empowering women who are telling their stories. But we also want to encourage you all. We need more Black stories. We need you to come out and share yourself, share your gifts, share your talents, share your experiences. Because the truth of the matter is, this is the cancel culture and there's so much going on. We don't have enough people sharing who they truly are. And that's why we started this platform, one, because we wanted to lift up and inspire, more Black women, but also we wanted to say that we have options. we have options. You know, a lot of what I'm seeing with my clients and a lot of people that I work with right now is really a sense of powerlessness and a sense of hopelessness because of everything that's going on in the world, and feeling like, why does this keep happening? And what do I do? And even my non-Black clients, you know, my white clients, my Filipino clients are like, how do we help? How do we support? And what's happening is a lot of people don't even know what to do, even if they are down, right? And even if they do care. And I think what really we have to do is we have to continue sharing our gifts, sharing our story, walking in purpose.
Absolutely.
And so for us, what we want to continue to do is to highlight Black women's stories. And we need your help to do that. And we need you to know that you don't have to live the way that you're living. If you don't like what's going on in this country, if you don't like what's going on in the world, if you don't like what's going on in your life, you have options. Change that. And one of those options is saying, you know what? Deuces America, I'm out.
I'm out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm out.
And if you are in a situation where you can't leave, or you feel like, you know, you want to stay here because of family, whatever the case may be, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you are protected. I always tell my daughter to protect your peace. You know, if you need to delete an app, you know, all while I'm all for the digital, for, you know, using it as a vehicle to get your voice out there and get your mission out there, like delete an app. Like I turned off Instagram for a minute because it was just too much. I'm usually not affected by, and not to say that I don't care, but I try to protect myself, and I have to protect it, because otherwise I will go crazy. I will go out there.
Oh, I did the same thing. I did the same thing.
So I have to shut it off.
You know, it's wild. So I never released like an official statement because I was like, hell, I'm Black and I wear a head wrap. I don't need to release no damn statement. I am my statement, okay? But one of the first things after I kind of, you know, collected myself and looked at what's going on, one of the first posts I made was, not watching the video is self-care.
Absolutely.
And just because you're Black, don't feel like you have to watch it to be informed. And that it went, you know, it went viral. Like, you know, so many people were like, thank you. So many people commented and said, you know, our mental health matters.
Yes.
Our mental health matters, and we do have to protect our peace. And at this point, you know what I mean? Like, we know what's going on. We are living it. Why do we need to continue to see it?
Exactly.
And so I agree with you. You know, I can't tell you the last time I watched the news. You know, only time I see the news when I go to my mama's house in Connecticut. She got CNN on 24/7. I'm like, what the hell? Go for the MSNB. I'm like, how can you do? Why?
Yeah.
I can't stand it. But I literally had some sleepless nights where, even though I don't watch the news, just being on Twitter, being on Facebook, Instagram, you know, seeing the protests and the riots and what was going on. And I had some moments where I broke down and cried. I ain't even gonna lie. I broke down and cried, and I was just like, what is happening right now? And, you know, when you're an empath like me, and I work with a lot of empaths, and a lot of my Reiki students are empaths, like, you have to tune things out. And I had to ground myself, and I had to spend more time in nature. And I did take some time where just, I got to step away. I can't look at this. And that's okay.
Girl, I don't work out the first time in years. I worked, I got up, I turned on YouTube. I found a nice Kiara Lachey. It's the bomb. Y'all go check her out. She did not pay for this promo, but that girl, I done lost pounds.
But she can become a sponsor. I don't know her, but you can become a sponsor, okay?
But she supporting Black business. But she has a YouTube channel, but it was actually on Pop Sugar. But anyway.
Okay, I love Pop Sugar.
Yeah. So she did a whole little thing on Pop Sugar.
The Pop Sugar, because I don't want to have to cancel them. Did they release a statement?
Oh, you know what? We got to look them up. Look, I'm going to have to look them up before I do my next exercise.
Pop Sugar released a statement.
I'm going to have to look them up before I do my next exercise. But they do have, I will say this, even if they didn't release a statement, or if they did, they have Black folks leading their exercises consistently. So kudos to them. Even before this started, they were doing it. So
that's true.
Kudos to Pop Sugar. But I did the work, girl. Lost pounds, felt better. Like, you know, I didn't realize how much I needed to just sweat. Yes. I needed to just like release and you know, and I had my kids. Then, you know, she does little booty shake stuff. I just needed to dance and get it out. I needed to move. So yeah,
That's
you
real.
do whatever it is that you need to do. I am now exercising 3 days a week. I can't do 5, I can do 3. But yeah, I mean, I've even thought about like, oh, I should start like a group, and I'm like, no, you ain't got time for that.
No,
But
just do it for you.
don't do
Just
that.
do it. Now it's
But I
gonna
feel
become a
like,
job.
I know I'm trying to make an accountability group for myself, but you know, that's how we get, right? As
Yes.
creative minds and as Black
Yes.
women, we say, oh, I should have more women do this with me because it feels so good. You know, so anyway, but you do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. I say all of that to say, I ended up getting into more fitness to be able to release because I needed that release. I needed to just turn everything off. And I think I said something to you in the Facebook group, and you are on the Facebook chat, and you were like, "Girl, turn off the news." I was like, "I'm not even watching the news. This is just from social media."
Social media's been a trip.
It's been a mess.
It's been a trip. I mean, no, there are absolutely times, you know. So you're right. You did fitness. For me, I really got more into my meditation practice and Reiki. I don't know, you know, I swear, if I didn't already have my self-care tools, because I talk about this all the time, like when we need self-care the most, we practice it the least. And so you really want to always practice self-care and have a self-care plan. So when things, you know, like this happen, right, where just shit hits the fan, like you have your tools, you have things to pull on. You're not scrambling and going crazy. And I'm so
do you have a
grateful.
toolkit on your site? Avalaura is going to put a toolkit on her site eventually. I'm not going to put a time date on it.
I am my toolkit. I do have a meditation on my site. I have a great meditation, and I do have great digital products. But no, I don't have a toolkit.
We need a toolkit from Avalaura, right?
I don't have a toolkit yet.
Yes.
But no, my meditations are bomb. I actually listen to my own meditations. That's how bomb they are.
Nice.
Yeah. So I know you like. Yeah,
really but you know what? I do have a digital, a virtual wellness room that I put Avalaura on. The Avalaura's meditations are in the virtual wellness room. I actually created it for moms, but really any person, really, any woman, I think will enjoy it. So I will link to that in the show notes. Avalaura is there. I will link to her website there as well. But that virtual wellness room, and I'm actually going to put it in the chat so Avalaura can see it, because I totally forgot to share it with you.
You sure did.
But I put you all over it and then forgot to share it with you. But it is basically what it is it's a virtual experience for you to just sit back and just relax. There's visual screens in there for visual sound or visual like effects and sounds, like nature sounds. There's water running. There's a lot of different ones that I placed in there. I have some fun stuff if you want to like look at old Soul Train. Where I found my solace is old Soul Train videos. Hilarious.
Everybody has their thing.
Hilarious.
Yo, Netflix was bae. Let me tell you, I've been seeing everyday thing on Netflix right now. Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
You watched everything.
Okay. I done caught up. It got so bad. I was like, what's on Hulu? I don't even watch Hulu. It's like, what's on Hulu? I done watched everything on Netflix.
Yeah, she was in the Tiger King for a minute, and then
I listen. I done everything. Y'all still don't get with me on Tiger King, but no, Tiger King blew up, so I was right. I knew what I was talking about. I was on the forefront before everybody else was talking about it.
She sure was. It's all kinds of memes flying around about Tiger King now. I ain't watching it. I said I'm not doing it. I refuse. I will leave that one there.
But
now,
that's on YouTube. If y'all want to check that out, we did a whole video. So when I did my quarantine healing series at the start of the quarantine, and Feel Good Friday, so we talked about Netflix and what we were watching, and Tiger King was one of them. It was one of the first episodes we did. So you can also check that out on my YouTube as well.
Yes, so go to Avalaura's YouTube for that one, because that one was a funny conversation. That was hilarious.
I was like, not having it.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, but it was awesome. Actually, I got some really good videos on there. So listen, self-care is important however you practice your self-care. But one of the things that we love about this series is Black women sharing how they chose their self-care through travel, and more importantly, sometimes through leaving the US, moving abroad, and just having amazing experiences.
Yeah.
And that's why we love this series. I mean, we've talked to women in South Africa, in Paris, and Oman. We didn't even know where Oman was, but we like Dubai. Okay, Oman.
Like,
okay.
where can you tell us in proximity to
in
where?
Vietnam, all over the world, Mexico. So it's really been fascinating, and we have more coming. We have videos, like I said, or interviews that we haven't even released yet.
Exactly.
So we definitely want you to check that out. We want you to be inspired. We want you to get, we want you to look at their stories and not say emulate them, but say, how do I want to live my life? How can I live my life on my terms? How can I be more empowered? How can I walk more in purpose? How can I really contribute? Because at this stage of the game, everybody, we all need to contribute. We all need to be doing something. Listen, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna be marching. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't about that life. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Yeah. And my sister's out there, kudos to her. I have a lot of friends who out there, kudos to all of them. That's not what I'm gonna do. But I will be on this podcast. I will be on my other podcast, Avalaura Heal My Life. I will be working with my clients one-on-one, and I will be speaking, and I'll be using my voice. Yeah, that's what I do.
Same here.
Everybody did that. Everybody does that. If everybody, whatever your gift, talent, purpose, walk is, if you did that, you can make a contribution and you can make a difference.
Don't let people try to define what Black is to you. That's what I want you all to walk away with this podcast. Understand that Black looks all different ways, and whatever you need to do to take care of you, you do. Because I'm with you, Avalaura. I'm not going to march. I'm not, I've said what I said on my page, on my Instagram page. I advocate in my business every day. I was advocating for Black women to even just give birth before all of this even started. So I've been advocating. My daughter tried to get at me and was like, "Oh, you're not gonna go out and you raised me to be this strong Black woman. You're not gonna get out there and march." I said, "I'm advocating."
I've been advocating for Black folks for 44 years.
Okay. I've been, and I will continue. I will continue in my business. I advocate every single day. The people that I help, this is why I tell you guys digital is so important, because our voices need to be out here in the way that they are out here. They need to impact the lives, because I understand how powerful this is. I don't know, a lot of people are trying to downplay it, but y'all see now, especially with all this that didn't happen, now how powerful media is. Yeah. And so I want you guys to just take away, go to bit.ly/VWR4, the number 4 MOM, right? It's VWR, the number 4 MOM, right? It's bit.ly/VWR4 MOM. And that's where you can go to the virtual wellness room. To your point, Avalaura, you were saying that everybody is doing their part. I've seen a lot of Caucasian people out here that have been on the front lines. I'm like, yes, y'all need to. Because they don't listen. If
take you are over.
Yeah, if you're Caucasian,
do what y'all do. Y'all like to take over everything else.
If you are Caucasian and you are listening to this, then yes, go out there, because your voices, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna get the brunt of it as I don't know a better way to say that.
I actually just saw about a protest, and I don't know where it is. That it was, sort of Black folks on the front line, and of course, police were coming from them. And then they said something like white shield. True story. I just saw this. They said white shield, and the white people came out in front of them and formed a chain. And the cops didn't know what to do. They ain't do nothing to Black folks.
See, and that's what I'm
working
saying.
Together.
That's what I'm saying. All right. And I know some people may take that and be like, I don't need that. But you know what? Unfortunately,
that's the world that we live in. Listen, I learned a long time ago, I accept things as they are. We don't have time to be mad at what the rules are. Learn the rules and break the damn things. Okay?
Yes.
We ain't got time to be arguing about it shouldn't be like this. Well, it is.
Yeah.
So learn what it is, and then learn how you can infiltrate, and you can say, okay, I can bend this, I can change this. Learn the rules.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the problem. For so long, we were arguing against reality. Mm-hmm. Well, reality done showed up in 2020 and reeled this ugly head, and now we all got to face it for what it is and deal with it.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest fact. That's the biggest fact. is that they've now been it's everything is just out there, and
Everything.
the reality of it.
Darkness done come to light. Everything.
Exactly. And it's hitting them upside the head, and they're like, wait, what? You didn't see that before? How are you just now recognizing that? You know, so
we see what we want to see.
Yeah. So, but you know, like you had said something towards the effect of dang it, now I lost it. But anywho, yeah, it's just I don't want to say I'm glad we are where we are, but I understand why we needed to get here. I understand why we needed to go through this in order to get to the other side. And I'm optimistic about the future.
Oh, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not happy at everything that's happened. Don't get me wrong. But as a healer, right, as a life coach, as a counselor, as a mental health expert, the thing that I know about healing is that healing does not happen without pain.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what you had said.
No coming to consciousness without experiencing pain. When the darkness comes to light, there is always pain.
Absolutely.
And so this is a necessary part of the process. So all of y'all like, oh, 2020 vision, 2020 clear vision, see clearly. Yeah, we all seeing clearly now. Yep. You just didn't understand that it was going to happen like this. Yeah. God ain't playing with y'all. God was like, oh, you want to see clearly? Yes, 2020. Let me show you.
Yeah.
And so at the start of our new decade, the truth comes out. Darkness comes to light. We are seeing it in every aspect of life and every institution and every entity and every organization.
And every niche.
Up. In your family, in your life, in your heart, in your social media. I'm seeing people getting called out and canceled every single day. Yeah. And they got receipts and they thought they could hide and take black dollars and be like, oh, no. Oh, this what you said? Oh, cancel, next.
You're done.
What's a black company that does the same thing? Because we ain't supporting you no more.
Yep. And even other black folks that thought that they can get away with being manipulative and being pushy with their marketing and stuff.
Listen. They getting canceled too. If you ain't about that life, cancel.
Yeah. You're showing your true colors. Like you said, the 2020 vision. Everybody's showing their real true colors. They were able to hide it behind pretty stuff before, right? Ooh.
Pretty marketing. Ooh. Pretty branding.
And pretty stock photos. Exactly. Right. Contrary to popular belief, the devil is very beautiful. The devil is not ugly. You know, I think people are looking for this ugly thing that just, no.
Very appealing. Whatever you want, that's how it's going to present itself.
So you guys got to be very careful out here in these streets, man. Trust in people, do your homework, do your research, find out. And Avalaura said, what did you say? The energy snitches on you? The energy will snitch?
Listen, you can say whatever you want, but your energy snitches every single time. Absolutely. Energy be snitching. I can feel you coming before you say nothing.
Yeah. Through the screen, huh?
Through the screen. Through your whitewash apology statements, your PLR discrimination statements. Energy be snitching, y'all. Be snitching. Pay attention to the energy. Listen to your intuition every single time.
Yes. If you feel something before you drop that 3,000 on a coach program, whatever, so I'm keeping it in business lingo, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Really just tune in. If you're feeling like, even with a partnership, right? We've seen a couple of different partnerships come ahead in the podcasting world over the last couple of weeks. And I've just been like, wow, this is just crazy. So like Avalaura said,
this fallout has been vicious.
Yeah.
This is the other thing about 2020. Let me tell you something about 2020. See, people mad at 2020. Y'all trying to cancel 2020, but I'm loving this year. 2020 is the most gangster year ever. Facts. Not only are you going to see clearly, but listen, baby, the way you are going to see, 2020 showing up like your black mama, like, get your motherfucker. 2020 ain't subtle. 2020 ain't playing with you. 2020 like, no, come on, honey. Heck, nah, them days is over. I tried to be nice. We ain't got time for that no more. Get your mother.
Snatching you by your ponytail. Get in the house.
That's 2020. Gangster, y'all. Gangster. I'm loving this year. This year will go down in history as the most gangsterist year ever in the history.
I'm going to need you to write that in the post so I can share it, please. Thank you. 2020 is the black mama grabbing you by your ponytail.
Edges, y'all. 2020 ain't playing with y'all. 2020, like, go over there and get that switch. Pick your switch. You want to play?
You want to play? For real. No, like facts though. Even with the COVID stuff, like the sky got clearer. I mean, like just from us just coming in the house, we're like, oh, maybe we should start doing this every couple of months. Like just give the earth a break. Like crazy.
The birds are singing. The earthworms are out.
Them birds been singing outside my window they sing all night, all day. I think animals was coming out looking around like, what y'all doing? What happened? We had animals in downtown. Like, what happened?
Downtown, though.
They was walking the streets like, where they at?
Goodness gracious. All right, we getting silly, y'all. I know y'all like, what the hell? It's all relevant. It's all relevant. Just make sure you listen and pay attention. It's all relevant.
I was thinking about this, though. This podcast is not only you guys' place, but our place for us to...
It's our own self-care. Y'all gonna hear it and y'all gonna take it.
Podcasting is very therapeutic. I don't know if y'all listen to, you probably don't, but anyway, Mike Tyson has a podcast. He smokes marijuana. We don't smoke marijuana, but there's a lot of podcasts out here that this is what and they don't understand that that's what they're doing. They have no idea.
It's real.
They think, hey, I'm just talking.
They need to come see me.
They really
doing a podcast instead.
And they're doing a podcast and they're finding out, but I think they're also finding out how much they do need you though through the podcasting too.
That's true. Some.
So we should probably do a podcast about that. But anyway, just the talking and having someone to talk to and get your feelings out and talk about the issues or talk about what's bothering you or how you handle certain situations and things like that. They don't understand it, but that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a safe space. Well, podcasts may not be, but it feels like a safe space.
Yeah, it's talk therapy on a different level.
Not on steroids.
Yeah. So,
because instead of one person, you got however many people your audience is
listening to you, right? But then they find healing through hearing you because they found that relatability. They find that connection, which is why I love podcasting so much.
And that's what we want you to do with this podcast. We want you to relate to these women's stories.
Absolutely.
And what they're and listen, and we got somebody for everybody. So we got mothers, we have single women who are dating, we have women in relationships traveling with their boo, like everything. So we want you to be able to relate to their stories and what they're going through and look at their lives and say, how can I do something similar? How can I improve? How can I make this shift? How can I make a pivot? Wow, they were able to do that. I've always wanted to do this. I've seen so many people say, I've always wanted to live abroad. I've always wanted to leave America. Now is the time, even though we can't physically leave yet, this is the time to really plan. You can do your research, you can do your homework, you can listen to this podcast, collect information, utilize the resources and things that we provide. This is the time to plan, because when them borders open, listen, I might be on one of them first planes out because I don't know when we're going to get another chance.
Exactly. And if anything, get rid of the fear. Whatever that fear is that may be seeping in you, or you may be hearing from relatives or people, about going, oh my gosh, if you go over there, I know I told somebody, oh, I want to go to Mexico because it's close enough but far enough. Oh, if you go to Mexico, they got all this stuff happening. I'm like, we got stuff happening here too. I didn't tell us
we ever have stuff happening here.
Right? So, just get rid of the fear.
That one,
yeah.
Like, we got stuff happening here.
Right? Virtual back hat. But yeah, just understand that if anything, you could take away these stories and know that while these women were fearful at first, once they got there, it was like, oh, this is totally different. Yes. Oh, I feel more comfortable here than I did back there.
Yes.
So
they move through the fear. Yeah, absolutely. So take a listen. If you haven't heard any of the previous episodes, go back and listen. New episodes are coming out every Thursday.
Yeah.
And please support Black Women Leave America. Like Jessica said, you know, we do this for y'all. Like, we don't get paid to do this. We both have our lives. We both have a lot going on. We love it. We're enjoying it, you know, but we would love your support. You can buy a t-shirt. Can y'all see my t-shirt? You can buy a t-shirt.
Yes.
You can get a mug.
Yes. You can share the content, you know,
Share.
even if you don't have the funds, share the podcast out.
Or if you do, because all of y'all putting out them funds right now, you can become a sponsor. You can become a monthly subscriber, and this will help us cover the cost of the podcast. So we're we're not coming out of pocket.
Yeah. We are definitely, because we have to have someone else edit this. This is just too much.
And everything else, right? So yeah, but we want to be able to release more episodes and do more, and we definitely could use your support in doing.
Or if you want to edit a podcast, you want to volunteer.
Oh hell, we take that too. We take that too. Listen,
like I said,
it takes a village to raise a dream, and right now I'm all about supporting Black folks' dreams. It takes a village to raise a dream. So you know, this is our baby. This is our dream. We would love your support in any way that you can do that. And we want to support you all in your dreams. That's what we're here for. Like, that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So
that's what our mama just told us to do, and we're gonna listen.
Right. So with that being said, we're here every Thursday. Black Women Leave America. Check us out. Every place podcasts are played. Share us, like us, subscribe, connect, support, and yeah, that's it. That's it, and that's all.